Welcome, everybody, to another live recording of the Business Travel 360 Linking the Travel Industry podcast, where we discuss travel industry news you are talking about on LinkedIn. My name is Rian, and I'm one of your hosts today. I'm a co-founder at Agentivity, where we do some very clever things with the booking data that flows through a TMC. So if that sounds of interest, please get in touch for a chat. As usual, I'm joined by Ash and Anne to help me discuss the stories. Over to you, Anne.
Welcome, everyone. I'm Anne. I'm an independent consultant with LeapShift and happy to help you with any inquiries you may have about NDC, one order, airline retailing, etc. Over to you, Ash.
Hi, everyone. My name is Ash. I'm the host of a weekly business travel podcast called What's Up in Business Travel, where we give you only the important updates in under 15 minutes. Additionally, I'm the Vice President of Client Success at Traxo, and this is Linking the Travel Industry.
So for those new to the event, welcome. We like having you here. For the others, welcome back. The format of this discussion is a quick, non-biased, and spontaneous review of previous week's top LinkedIn travel industry-related stories. We also want to hear from you, so if anything we discuss here raises your interest or you have a comment, give us that comment and we'll put it on screen. So last week was week 42, and the first story that stood out for us was the announcement from Virgin Atlantic after apparently a lot of rumors. I wasn't privy to this rumors, I have to say, so it was news to me. But their CEO, Shay Weiss, definitely is leaving the company. He's been in that role since 2019, and he will be replaced by Cornel Koster, who is currently the Chief Customer and Operation Officer, and he will start in that role on the 1st of January 2026. I don't think anything untowards here. I think this has been planned. I saw some of the reports. Shay is praised for leading the airline through the pandemic and did very well with that. So this could be a fairly natural transition.
It's really interesting because you don't really hear that much about Virgin Atlantic, but I did read some comments on that post saying that they need to do something about I think it was Manchester Airport, et cetera, and really upgrade the airline more.
So on the Navan front, the way Navan is placed from a valuation perspective, so we're talking about $6 billion or so in evaluation. The share price, $24 to $26 is what they're estimating. That seems to be quite high as well. I'm concerned about where this is going.
I couldn't believe it. My comments when I saw this was, did somebody make a typing mistake with the number there? But I just find this, some of their statistics and numbers and sales, etc., this can't be right.
No, that's my view as well. It's so totally unrealistic. And I'm also wondering, what have we seen coming out from Navan that is so technology-wise revolutionizing, or some sort of sign that this is like so incredible, etc. And I totally agree with you there, Ash, that imagine if that value then drops. It's quite worrying.
I mean, just to put it in perspective, right? And again, as Rian rightly pointed out, we're not financial experts in any way, and please don't take our stock advice as advice. Amex GBT is at $8 a share. And I don't intend to compare, because I understand it's apples and oranges here that we're comparing, but at the same time, that kind of puts a finger and pulse on where things should be. And from Mac's perspective, the highest Amex GBT has achieved is somewhere between $10 to $12. So the fact that they're coming out at double.
Staying with some financial investments and that sort of stuff, something really exciting happened last week, and that's the news that Revolut acquired the AI travel agent startup Swifty. And Swifty, if you recall, was incubated at Lufthansa Innovations Hub, and they are a startup AI travel agency. And this is very interesting. And I'm sure you're very excited about this.
Very excited. And yeah, kudos to Lufthansa Innovation there. This really makes me think of what we've been discussing in the past. You know, I was telling you about agents having their reservations cancelled by the airline because the airline is then claiming that this is an agency, it's not the customer. Here we are seeing all of this is going to disappear, isn't it, in future? How are you going to know who is actually behind this reservation? And that's going to be the battle. But of course, and as you know, I'm fascinated by Revolut, and I think that they're going to be extremely interesting in the industry on the whole to keep an eye on. It's clear that their ambition and plans are just much bigger.
Revolut is not slow. They've got money behind them and they clever, and they're not going to take our strange, this is the way it's been done for ages at all, right? They're just going to move ahead. They're looking at this from the press release. You can see some of the wording used. They're looking at this as part of a lifestyle offering. This is very exciting. I assume it's going to focus predominantly on leisure travel for now, but let's not keep them to that. Let's see what else they can do with this. And then staying with investments and acquisitions, very interesting development. The travel tech company TravelSoft has acquired Travolution. Now, I had to scratch my head when I first read this because I can't quite put those two together. I don't know if it was the same for you, Anne.
It is a bit of a, but I find it very interesting that they're going to, you're going to have a media company focusing more on the technology here. Of course, that is like music to my ears. Fantastic, because I don't think we have enough of that.
They talk about the fact that TravelSoft has acquired them for a reinforced media and events division. Travolution, of course, well known for its events. Difficult one for me to quite get my head around. Congratulations to Travolution for being acquired. Comment there from Gavin. Hey, Gavin. Sorry you missed that. Just based on a few stories back on the Navan IPO. So Gavin's comment there is just about what is a valuation for the IPO. It's given to a company with the input of an investment bank. Value has been divided by the total number of shares to be issued to arrive at a price per share, etc. It is a sales process to sell the shares. Yeah, again, my view is the price is too high. Let's turn to our audience for a second. I just want to say to the audience, thank you so much for joining us on a Monday. It's nice to see you guys in the room, and please do comment and tell us where you are listening from. We'd love to hear where you are listening from, and we'll get that on screen as well. Our ultimate purpose here is to connect more of us in the industry to one another. So if you share your name and get it on screen, and we will get a few extra connection requests going today. Staying with potential mergers and acquisition, a story that really raised my eyebrows last week was the jump in EasyJet shares, a jump as high as 12% after reports that the MSC shipping company was considering a takeover of the airline. That's why I had to double take, that headline a bit and make sure I read that correctly. I saw this in a post by Rob Levy, and it came off the back of an article that was published in The Guardian. And does this make sense to you?
It makes perfect sense. This is the big article of the week. We've been talking about it before, that the potential of actually joining up different industries in tourism has a huge potential. And of course, this makes perfect sense. Imagine the cool stuff they can do with the potential of having these two industries. I would love to work with it.
And are you thinking that from the fact that, the biggest revenue earner for EasyJet is its holidays and MSC is in that space?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if they do any joint work today or work together today.
I assume they do with the holidays.
The article in The Guardian, not sure this is the best thing from a financial perspective, because they're also moaning the loss that potentially if this does go through, they will lose EasyJet off the London Stock Exchange. It will move to Switzerland, where MSC is based. But yeah, they're not talking about this from the beautiful marriage perspective that Anne is. Ash, what are your thoughts?
Well, I remember MSC was trying to buy ITA Airways, inspired by Alitalia. So this is another attempt for them. That one didn't work out. They're obviously interested in this vertical, and as Anne pointed out, when that option didn't play out, I think that they're look for the next best thing, and here comes EasyJet.
And EasyJet is a much better option than ITA, inspired by Alitalia.
Yeah, well remembered, Ash. I forgot about MSC and their interest in ITA, but you're right, Anne. I mean, if it is for what we think it is they want to do with this and expand, leisure travel and holidays, etc. Yes, of course, EasyJet is by far the better one, but surely the EasyJet purchase will be a bit more expensive than whatever that ITA shareholding was.
Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Imagine booking a flight, reserving a hotel, and filing your expense report, all during your favorite coffee break at your desk. That's what Italite makes possible, a modern, all-in-one platform for business travel and expenses. Why choose Italite? Because we combine smart technology with effortless workflows, helping companies save money while making travel simpler and faster for employees. Italite, the smarter way to travel for work. Discover more at italite.com.
Hope they have the money. And then the final story on my list was we once again back to a category of post that is about the one that got the most engaged post of the week. This goes to Erica Armstrong. Erica posts some fascinating stuff. So if you don't follow her, you should. And this post of her is a bit tongue-in-cheek. And it just talks about the fact that in the US particularly, the closed door button on a lift doesn't actually do anything. It just makes you feel in control. I have to say, I've wondered about this many, many times. I have to say it's in line with, I was recently in London at an event where you get to one of those buildings where you don't have any control of the lifts. You have to tell the lobby what floor you go to, and it will say to you, lift J is the one you have to go to, and there are no buttons at all inside the lift.
I don't like the fact that there's no buttons on there.
What about you, Anne?
Oh, I don't like it when there are no buttons. And actually, it's something I wondered about. Why isn't this closing faster? There'd definitely be some truth in that. I also want to say that Erica Armstrong is absolutely brilliant. And we've had her as a speaker at Ladies Beyond Flying, which is a private group in the industry. And she is just absolutely phenomenal.
No, I love her content as well, absolutely.
Yeah.
So I have a little bit of trivia for you because I think we have a few minutes left. And this is about lifts and buttons. So what happens in Japan and South Korea on elevator buttons that's quite special? It's about convenience for the user. It really is very convenient for the user. So when you accidentally press the wrong floor, you can press the button again and cancel. Or if you have a naughty child in the lift that's pressed all the buttons, you can just undo that quite easily. So
I was going to say, I hate those children that do that.
Okay, cool. Guys, those were the list of stories on my list. And I think you have an extra story for us, right?
Another airline that we talked about so many times is Finnair. And can you believe that they had to they had to ground 8 of their 15 Airbus A321s because they were cleaning them incorrectly. They were cleaning them with water, which had an impact on the electricity. So it's massive cancellations. We know it's an airline that's been cancelling flights and strikes and what have you. And it's like no end to it, is it? How does that happen? I mean, you must have a cleaning procedure, right? All of a sudden you have some idiot goes in there and says, ooh, yeah, let's clean this with some water.
What are you supposed to clean the plane with? Do we know?
Some sort of detergent that doesn't affect the electrics in some way.
Anything else, or should we also? Shavi's got some extra stories.
All right, I have a couple of good ones. So we don't really talk about rental cars here too much. Enterprise is now the number one rental car company in the world, as per JD Powers. They do an annual survey, and everybody gets to vote on which rental car is doing well. This particular survey puts Enterprise at number one. And the scoring system is interesting because it's out of 1,000 points. Enterprise is at 734, which is, 3/4 of the way. So that's pretty decent. And their sister company, National, was at number 2. But the industry average, and this is the part that was really, really curious to me, was only 691. So there's a lot of room in rental car for improvement. It's like 400 points worth. The other thing that was interesting about the study is that 80% of travelers actually still go to the rental counter. So the average time that they wait is 8 minutes for a rental car. Meanwhile, airline travelers, right, the same traveler that flew on the airline, never went to an individual, did everything via what you guys call mobile boarding passes, which is an interesting concept, and actually travel and get their bag, and they do that all self-service, right? This was quite interesting. I'm glad you guys got a kick out of that one.
Speaking of mobile boarding passes, I was thinking of you Wednesday night in Stockholm, Ash, because of course I had my mobile boarding pass and I checked in and fine and dandy. And all of a sudden on my way out to the airport, everything in that mobile boarding pass is gone. I mean, it has my name and it has the fields of the pass, right? But, there's no seat, there's no nothing. So what do I do now? I went to a kiosk and guess what? I printed a boarding card.
Music
and I thought of you as I printed that boarding card.
And just think about that. Just like that, you can be wiped out of a flight. You have no place being there just because they disappeared it on your phone. And then you look to your right, and there's Ash standing there with his real boarding pass, boarding the flight that you were supposed to get on, right? It's not right. So the next story, which is a little bit more serious and actually good news for Delta. I don't know if you guys saw this, but Delta provided their Q3 results. And of course, everything is up and they're doing well and all that good stuff. Part of the story that was really interesting was that premium products led the way for them to have a great third quarter. Premium products actually growing by 9%, while main cabin sales declined 4%. 13-point gap between the two fits into Delta's strategy of buying newer planes with more premium seats in it. The new planes that they're purchasing are designed to fit in with their quarter three results. So all the numbers are telling the story, and Delta is reacting accordingly. So great news for them.
And no NDC in sight, right? And despite all that. Ooh, I'm going to get in trouble for saying that. Well done to Delta. So, guys, those were the stories on our list, and those were the extra stories as well. So that is a wrap. We do this weekly. I should remind you at the end. Thank you to those in the audience who joined us today and commented. Thanks, Gavin. Over to you, Anne.
Thanks, everyone. And thank you for your comment there. Over to you, Ash.
Thank you all for joining today's live recording of Linking the Travel Industry. We record this podcast live every week on Monday, and we ask that you share this event with others that you know. Chances are high that if you enjoyed today's session, those that you know will as well. If you haven't missed a show because of time zone availability, we make the podcast available on businesstravel360.com. This is Linking the Travel Industry, signing off.